Hello and good morning. Welcome to my kitchen. It is I, Akiba Johnson. Yes, that Akiba Johnson, the one that wrote the book, The Protectors, Book One, Child of the Prophecy. All right. I'm glad we got that out of the way. Let's have some coffee, right? Okay. So yum yum. Delicioso. All right. So today we'll be talking a little bit about one of my favorite humans. I always say favorite, and I think you have to understand that as a writer, it's hard for me to say this is my absolute favorite person in the whole wide book. But literally, I do love all the characters that I created, the good guys and the bad guys, and everybody in between, the minor roles and whatnot. I did create them with a purpose, and I really do like everybody in the book. So I'm sorry if I keep saying my favorites, literally, because all of them are my favorites. So maybe I'm lying about having a favorite. Okay, so we are talking about humans. I said for the month of October we would be talking about humans, and we talked about what is his name? William Grace. William Grace. And .com. I don't know. We talked about William Grace, and that was pretty fun to talk about and everything like that. And um, I think it was a really fun idea to go in a different directions and talk about the humans in the book. So I hope you guys are enjoying this set of videos that I'm doing about our humans that play the role in the protectors. Uh, all right. For those of you guys who really don't know what I'm talking about, um, I'll just kind of go over things a little bit again. The Protectors is a book that I wrote. It's a sci-fi kind of action fantasy book. It takes place here on Earth, but some of the people in the book are not human. Um, they are an intelligent life form that came from another planet called Ihane, and they are here with their mission to destroy another race of people who are living here on our Earth called the Wraith. All right, so that should get you up to speed. The other thing you have to kind of have in your head is that no humans know who the protectors or the Wraith are. To human, they are a human. The protectors are, and to the humans, the Wraith are just like a shadowy type being that most humans can't see anyway. So that's kind of letting you know where we are as far as now we're up to speed. We're all on the same page. All right. So our human of the day is Javier. Yay, Javi. Javier is our human of the day. And one of the things I really like about Javier is that he's kind of pretty awesome. He's a warrior type human, kind of like William Grace or whatever like that, but he's that hero. He got that hero save the day, damsel in distress complex, which you'll see in my readings. Javier is the neighbor of June, and he kind of comes on the scene in chapter 16 when June goes to her house for the first time, and her neighbor is there kind of waiting on her because, he's a little bit worried. He does that. It's the hero complex. Anywho, let's start reading a little bit on Javier. All right. Wait, where are we? All right, here we go. Javier. I'm reading from chapter 16, okay? June, what happened to you this morning? You missed our run, said neighbor Javier. He was a Hispanic man with an athletic build. He was currently training for the New York Marathon. Javier was a martial arts teacher and was always taking on some great task. He was a great neighbor and awesome sparring buddy. It wasn't often a protector could truly call a human a warrior, but Javier was. He was great with hand-to-hand weapons and even an expert at the bow and arrow. Master Javier, my apologies for missing our run. A friend called me before the sun was up in desperate need of my help, and I had to go to him, she said. Were you able to help your friend? Asked Javier. I have helped some, I think. There is still. Then she stopped short of what she was saying. She had been taught by the best, and Master Yvonne had taught her to guard her home. It was her habit to place a small strip of thread at the bottom of the door so she could detect if someone had entered. June, what is it? Then, following June's glance, he noticed the thread. Let me go in first. He then reached for his whip he had tied at his waist. No, said June, realizing it might be Sydney. It's my friend's daughter. She'll be here until everything gets settled. And if you go in, you'll scare her. June didn't like being dishonest with Javier. What she said was true, but not the whole story. The real story would blow even Javier's open mind. Can't let you in, Javier. One of the child of the prophecy is hiding in my house because I'm one of the five she was told to trust. You see, I'm really a creature from another planet, sent to round up the wraith who are trying to eat human life energy. This she said in her own head and it made her smile. Now go before you scare the girl to death, said Jim. Wait, Javier. No one is to know I have a guest. I fear for her safety, said Jim. This too was true, and Javier was a man who could be trusted, partially because he trusted very few, partially because he had a major hero complex and the thought of a damsel in distress appealed to him. He backed away. Your secret is my secret, June, said Javier, and he walked away. All right. So that's Javier in chapter 6. And you kind of do see that he got a bit of a hero complex. All right, we're gonna close that up, and I'll just talk to you about Javier and what I like about him. And I know I only read a short bit of Javier, and I know some of you are gonna say, well, Javier is in the book elsewhere as well, so we could talk about him and his run-in with William Graves. But instead, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Javier. One of the things was in writing this book is I wanted to have a representation of everybody. Now, I know that's pretty much impossible to have every race, every thing, that sounds horrible. Every race, every nationality, in this book. But I did want to have at least a footprint of so many different types of people interacting, working together, being friends, eating with each other, and just living their lives as if none of these things make or break you, which to me they don't. So in my book, you see Hispanics, you see all these different types of people in my book. Javier, let's just keep this out here. I love that name, Javier. I just think it's an awesome name in general. So it wasn't named specifically after anyone. However, I have known a couple of Javiers in my life. Although that's not where I got the name from, I didn't specifically name him after anyone that I've met or that I've known. What I will say is his character is kind of I know guys like him. You know, the hero complex kind of dude, the I'll be there for you kind of guy. The over the top hero knight in shining armor type dude. And that's what I liked about Javier, is that he really looked like he was waiting for a challenge all the time. And that's kind of how he lived his life, like he's waiting for a challenge. Um, and isn't it ironic that he moves in right next door to um, someone whose life is pretty challenging as a protector? I'm gonna be very girly here and just start taking my nail polish off. So excuse me. Um, so basically, Javier's lot is that he is a um, martial artist who trains in all these different. He trains in martial arts and trains in all these different weapon choices just because he likes challenging himself physically and mentally. Um, you hear that he's training for a marathon and stuff like that, and that she runs with him. Uh, I kind of, what I liked about Javier is because he was so macho and manly, but yet kind of sweet too. He didn't seem like he oversteps his bounds as a neighbor, a male neighbor, or anything like that. There's no romantic connection between him and June. And in their relationship, this is what I really like, that there isn't a romantic relationship between the two of them, and that neither one of them are looking for that. That they are really just being friends, enjoying each other's company, and appreciating the strength in each other. I wanted to make the hero type guy able to like spar with her. I thought it'd be interesting to have a hero type guy who isn't um, one of those guys that think a girl can't do stuff just because she's a girl. So some guys, when they get more macho like that, they tend to be a little sexist. So when I wrote Javier, I tried to balance him to where he was extremely likable and balanced between macho and sexist. And I hope that he came across as macho in a positive way and not that sexist type of macho that a lot of times we meet, that kind of guy who would never run with a woman because he thinks she couldn't keep up, or wouldn't, even if she was good, would not like her because she's good at martial arts and stuff like that. But that he respected June and her abilities, that he liked sparring with her, that he liked running with her. Even though he's like this macho guy, you would think, oh, he's not going to want to run with a woman who's actually fast, who's actually strong. He's not going to want to spar with a woman who can actually knock him on his keister. I don't even know what a keister is. Whatever. I'm going to have to Google that. What's a keister? I think it's your bottom. Whatever. I think it's your can. Yeah, I think it's your bottom. Anywho, he is, anyway, that's what I wanted to say about him. He's macho without being sexist. And that's one of the things that I found endearing about him. I actually known macho guys like that before. I don't mind a macho guy. I don't like a sexist guy. And to me, there's a big difference. A macho guy can be macho, okay, without trying to control what type of female you are, okay? And a sexist guy is a guy who is macho because he thinks that's what a guy is, and think that you're supposed to fit in some kind of this is what a girl is mold. So anyway, that's Javier. I hope you guys really enjoy my little hero, Javier, and enjoy reading about him. Javier, if you notice at the end of the book when they're talking about all the different things they need for this final battle, and they mention humans, Javier is going to be one of our human warriors. And the reason why I wanted to do this little Let's Talk About the Humans campaign for this month is because the humans will be taking on a bigger role in book 2 than they had in book 1. In book 1, it pretty much focused around our protectors. We didn't learn very much about our race, or we didn't learn very much about our humans. It pretty much was about the children of the prophecy. We got to have an introduction to mostly Sydney, okay, and we got to see Sydney and Kevin together. So we got to see a great deal of them too. Um, but we're going to also, in book 2, talk about our humans and our race and more about why this battle is so important and what's really going on and what healing the universe really means. I hope you guys really enjoy book 2 because I'm enjoying writing book 2. It's coming out even more groovy than book 1. Probably because I've grown a lot as a writer. When I wrote book 1, it was one of the first things I've ever written. And so it was quite a challenge. And it might not be as well put together as book 2 is going to be. And that's only because it was my first go round. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a little bit more about my Javier, my human, June's neighbor. And I hope you guys just enjoy my book. Don't forget, you can find my book, The Protectors, Book 1, Child of the Prophecy, on Amazon.com. You can find me on YouTube. Ta-da! You can also find me on Facebook and on Twitter. And I'm trying to get better at Instagramming. So I'm on Instagram, but I do need to work at my Instagramming a little bit better than the way it is set up currently. Either way it go, I hope you guys really, really enjoy my videos that I make. If you do, go ahead and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter. And like me on Facebook. Don't forget to leave a comment below if you have any questions, comments, or you just want to say hello. Take care. Bye-bye.